Hey guys, Nick from The Skin Deep, and for those of you who don't know, we have an and card game for you guys to play. That way you can play the and at home with loved ones and friends. So please check it out at skindeep.com/shop. Now I'm gonna go get a haircut.
What do you remember from the first time we met?
Yeah, that's a good question. I remember everybody spoke so highly of you and with such, I guess, like admiration that you kind of seemed larger than life to me. And I think one of the things that connected me to you was that we had these shared experiences as it relates to immigration.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that could be me, you know? And then watching the mobilization and the college initiative piece, that big picture and all of that. And then to finally, hear about, oh, he came out, and then to see you in person.
Yeah.
The first, I was like, damn, he's mad short.
I remember when we first met in person and we spoke really briefly. And I remember you told me, he was like, yo, man, I knew you was gonna get out of that. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I was like, damn, I'm happy he felt that way. Because there were times I was like, this is definitely not gonna end the way that we wanted. And it was like a genuine, like, yo, man, like I knew it was gonna be all right.
Nice, and I'm glad you out, bro, yeah. When was the scariest moment in your life, and how did you feel?
The scariest moment in my life was the day I left prison. The day I left prison, it was like showtime. Everything you talk, now you have to walk.
Yeah.
And what scared me more was that I had sold my family on that talk. And that I knew that they were gonna hold me accountable.
Yeah. For me was walking into Clinton Correctional Facility, 2003. I'm young, I don't even have a mustache yet. And one of the people runs by me right to the officer's desk, and says, CO, like they're in my cell right now and they're like taking everything, my TV, my commissary, I need help. So the correctional officer says, man, you better get out of here, man, and go get a knife like everybody else. Don't come back over here. I had two epiphanies right at that second. One, I better get a knife like everybody else, And then two, I can die in here. Like this is like, I'm in prison. Like I'm here. Like this is it. This is not camp. There are no swimming pools here. The judge is not gonna say, hey man, we're just joking with you, man, you can leave. Like this is what it is. It was a very scary moment. I remember writing my mother, telling her, if I go a week without writing you, or even 2 weeks without writing you, call the jail. That means I'm not okay.
What was the moment that you felt most alone, and how did you deal with it?
Oh, man. The moment I felt most alone actually wasn't even solitary. Because by that point, I had already developed a relationship with myself. The moment I felt most alone was pre-trial, and my offer was 25 years. Up until that point, I was a cop-out artist. Hey, what are they offering? A year, 6 months, time served, let me get that. Give me whatever I can get that's gonna get me out of here today. And at that point, I realized that I'm not going anywhere. The lawyer, you think that they're on your side, but after the proceedings, they went and had lunch. They were like, hey, he's telling the prosecutor, hey, where are we having lunch? Oh, we're going, to the usual place. And the only person I had here was my daughter's mother, but she had a newborn child, because I was arrested 2 days after my little girl was born. And I remember feeling like there's nobody I can turn to alleviate this pain, to get me out of here. I mean, I contemplated escape, I contemplated suicide sometimes. I got angry, I used to hit people for no reason, And I remember just feeling like, it's just you. Like you're here, you're not going anywhere anytime soon. Get comfortable, Yeah.
For me, the moment I felt most alone was when they brought me in immigration. And I remember they put me in the room, getting me ready for processing, and he locked the door.
Yeah.
And it was a feeling that we felt so many times of being locked in while you were incarcerated. Someone else coming and closing a gate or making sure it's locked or locking it or opening it. Yeah. And I had literally forgot what that felt like. Yeah. To not have control, to be able to leave a room. Yeah. Because I was out for 4 years and I had lived a life where it was like, you know, I could leave a room if I want to. Yeah. And when he put me in that room and he locked the door, I just remember this terror just came over me instantly. Yeah. And I was just like, I felt so disconnected from the world that I knew. Yeah. And I was still in Manhattan, you know, but I may as well have been on Pluto or Mars or Venus. I just felt completely distant from everything and everybody. Yeah. And how I dealt with that was I literally had to like tell myself where I was at. I had to tell myself that I was in Manhattan, that I was in a room, and that I was all right, and that I was gonna have to kind of like cope with that and manage those emotions until at least he got me out of the room. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's how I dealt with that.
What is the greatest risk you've ever taken?
For me, one of the biggest risks I've ever taken was telling someone who, at that point in my life, I actually wanted to emulate. Telling him that I wasn't going to carry a shank to the yard, because my transformation had already began. And in prison, you know, when you're involved in like behavior that's not conducive to your well-being, that's a big risk. You know, telling someone that you're not gonna succumb to that level of peer pressure is something that could have got me severely hurt. But I just remember telling myself that this was the moment that I needed to prove to myself that this is who I wanted to be. And that had I folded because of what he was telling me, that I really didn't want to be who, I really didn't want to make the change.
You know, I think the greatest risk that I've taken in my life actually was, you know, it came to a point where I said, I'm burning all bridges to the penal institution. Every single friend that I had, I no longer want to know because they're all breaking the law. I got to this mental state where I said, if it leads me back to the penitentiary, I don't want nothing to do with it. Because I came to a point in my life when I realized that incarceration was too much to pay. I never want to wear another pair of handcuffs. I never want to be inside of a cage. I never want to be, you know, taken away from my family and see the pain in my daughter's eyes, my mother, for God's sakes. I said, I don't know how it is to live responsibly. I don't know what it is not to break the law. You know, like I never had a job. I never knew what it was like to live how I'm living now, actually. I'm like, Johnny, you burning a lot of bridges. You can't come back to the street if this doesn't work out, you know? And so I put my back against the wall and left myself no option but to live responsibly and, you know, and just to be a regular, quote unquote, whatever regular is, person in society. And I'm like, if this doesn't work, then there are no other options. 2.5 years later, I still have some challenges that I'm facing, but it's better. You know, it's better in my belief in that internal process. You know, so.
Plus, you're not back. You're not back in the system, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
exactly.
If that was like the only measure of success.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like,
yeah, that helps.
What did you learn about human relationships while incarcerated?
That even in the most oppressive and depressive environment, you can create meaningful relationships. A lot of the friends that I met and created in prison, we're still friends now. You know, like you know, there's a lot of people on my Facebook that I was incarcerated with who are all living responsibly and doing their thing, but we built that relationship in that place, in a place where you're supposed to second guess everybody's intentions, and you know everyone has a con going. You can't trust anybody. You can't cry in front of people, you know. And for some reason, we were vulnerable with each other. We challenged each other, and hold each other accountable. You know, like, hey, what are you doing? This is not what we're doing. What's going on, man? You know. And to this day, we still hold each other accountable. You know, and we forged these kind of inseparable, unbreakable relationships that other people who have not been through that experience is mind-boggling to them. Like, how can you become friends with somebody in jail?
Yeah.
Well, you try living with somebody for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing for me, real quick. First time I ever told another man that I love him,
Yes.
and truly, genuinely meant that, was while I was incarcerated. Another man outside of a family member.
Yeah.
Because I really learned how to let another man be my friend.
Yeah.
And I really let some guards down,
Yeah.
particularly with older men, because I had this thing with my father leaving me and choosing a job over me and feeling like I didn't need a father and I was gonna figure it out on my own. And that damaged a lot of relationships that I had while incarcerated. And then there was a point where I just realized that I need to let that go.
Yeah.
I need to move that out of the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree with that. It's your turn, right? Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to keep seeing videos like this, please consider supporting our work on Patreon. You can do so at theskindeep.com/Patreon and help us make more videos. Thanks. Get that hair out of there. God damn.